Real Charlie here with a special treat. I am going to be doing 5 videos where I'll be zooming through my DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K collection. So let's move the lovely disco snow globe away and get started. First up is the fabulous 9 to 5 with Jane Fonda, Dolly Parton, and Lily Tomlin. After that, we have a beautiful performance piece, Adele live at the Royal Albert Hall, which is Blu-ray. After that, we've got the amazing French film Adventures of Felix, which was the first film to really celebrate the sentence that went from a death sentence to a life sentence for people living with HIV. A really, really beautiful indie film that a lot of people don't know about, so check that out if you're interested. After that, I've got another Adventures, and this one is the Australian Oscar award-winning Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. From there, we go to All About My Mother, my favorite Pedro Almodovar film. Pedro Almodovar is my favorite living director. From there, we move into another Criterion Collection film, All That Heaven Allows, a beautiful Douglas Sirk film that I adore. After that, we've got another Almodovar film, Bad Education, starring Gael Garcia Bernal. Definitely want to check that out. And then from there, we go to England and a small indie film called Bashment, which was produced, written, and directed by Ricky Beadle Blair. He is somebody to check out if you're not familiar with his films. I will be spotlighting some of his other films in my collection as well. From there, we go to the classic camp, The Bat, which is a great Halloween film for people who don't like a lot of gore. It's Vincent Price, it's Agnes Moorehead, it's absolutely beautiful. And moving on, we have the original 1960s television series, Batman the Movie, with Adam West and Burt Ward. After that, one of my favorite, well, possibly actually my favorite gay male coming out film of all time, Beautiful Thing from England. Incredible cast with music by Mama Cass. Another French film after that, Before I Forget. Just a really incredible film about a 58-year-old HIV positive former prostitute, male prostitute, and his coming to a point in his life where he's not sure whether he wants to live or die. I kind of feel like only the French could really make a film that unique, and I just adore that film. After that is a adaptation of a play called Bent, which is about gay men in the Nazi concentration camps during World War II. From there, we jump into, and we switch gears 100%, and we go into the absolute crazy comedy mockumentary Christopher Guest film Best in Show, which is one of my favorite comedy films of all time. And then from there, we jump to Warner Brothers Blu-ray of the amazing Oscar-winning film The Best Years of Our Lives, one of my absolute favorite Hollywood films of that era, of the 1940s. After that, we have a gigantic look at Bewitched, the complete series, which is on DVD, which I absolutely adore. I've adored it since I was a kid, and it's great to go back certain times of the year and watch the Christmas episodes, the Halloween episodes. Just recently, I watched the Salem episodes right before Halloween, and it was a lot of fun. After that, we go to another Lily Tomlin film, this time with Bette Midler, Big Business. Lily and Bette play twins, and it's absolutely double the fun for sure. From there, we go to a great indie Susan Dey film. Susan Dey is my favorite actress, and I have all of her films that are out on DVD or Blu-ray. Blue River is an indie film with Nick Stahl, and it's just a lot of fun. But after that, we've got the classic original 1970 film, The Boys in the Band. You may have heard of the remake that came out recently. This is the original. Definitely LGBT history film, absolute must-see. And then jumping off from there, we've got another French film. This one is BPM, which is one of my favorite new French films of recent years, and it explores ACT UP in Paris during the 1990s. So again, another HIV/AIDS related film, really celebratory and an absolutely beautiful film. Another Almodovar film, Broken Embraces. Everything he does, he just touches, everything he touches turns to gold. So another great film. The Broken Hearts Club, a romantic comedy after that, which is an amazing indie film, sort of rom-com buddy movie. Really, really a lot of fun. And then from there, we jump into Anthony Mackie's breakout film called Brother to Brother, which was about a young African-American man researching the Harlem Renaissance, and it jumps back and forth in time between the Harlem Renaissance and current day. It's really, really good film. And then after that, we go to Eton Fox's The Bubble. Eton Fox is one of my favorite directors. He's from Israel, and he's openly gay, and this film is really about the love affair between an Israeli man and a Palestinian man, and it becomes sort of a modern day Romeo and Juliet. Really beautiful. And then from there, let me just move the camera just slightly. Look at that. There's two films, the same films. I have two DVD copies. That means I love this film so much, I'm afraid it's going to go out of print and one of my DVDs might break. So La Bouche is one of my favorite Christmas films. It's French. It's about a dysfunctional family, and it's really, really fun and hysterical, and has an incredible holiday soundtrack as well. After that, Vinegar Syndrome produced Buddies, which is really one of the first AIDS films. I have not yet watched that, but it's definitely on my list to watch in the very near future. Cambridge Spies after that is a great British miniseries about the four men who were arrested who were stealing secrets for the Russians during the Cold War in Great Britain. And then from there, one of my favorite directors, international directors, Ventura Pons, a great film called Caresses, which is sort of a triptych film, very twisted, and has a lot of LGBT content in it, lots of fun. After that, Todd Haynes' Glorious Carol, which was an adaptation of a Patricia Highsmith book. Absolute must-see, absolutely gorgeous. Todd Haynes is one of my favorite directors. And then from there, the Jean Genet film, Un Chant d'Amour, or Song of Love, a cult classic and absolute must-see. After that, we've got the absolutely beautiful Christmas in Connecticut, which is one of my yearly forays into Christmas films. I absolutely love Christmas films. This is the Blu-ray of Christmas in Connecticut with Barbara Stanwyck and Dennis Morgan. And then another Christmas film and another French film, which is the Criterion Collection's A Christmas Tale, starring the beautiful Catherine Deneuve. After that, we've got Brenda Fricker and Olympia Dukakis in Cloudburst, a great indie lesbian elder film, something that you don't see much at all, really celebratory and also intense as well, about elder people and their families, treating them with respect or not treating them with respect. Jumping off from there, we've got a Blu-ray version of Clue, which is, again, one of my favorite comedy films. It's Clue about based on the board game, but it's just hysterical. It has an incredible cast. It's just, comedy is very subjective, but Clue, I think, would make almost everybody happy. And then from there, Robert Altman's another huge favorite of mine, and his film that was an adaptation, Come Back to the Five and Dime, Jimmy Dean, is just brilliant, genius Altman at work with a great cast. From there, we go to yet another French film called Come Undone. This is a coming out film. It's very French, it's very moody, it's very atmospheric, and the scenery is at a seaside in France. Really beautiful. And then wrapping up this part one and the C's is Contact, the Jodie Foster film. I just love this film. I think it's a great film about humanity and saving humanity and what is important in life. And it all, of course, wraps around a science fiction tale of trying to find first contact. So that's my choices for this first section. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you for part two very soon. Take care.